Football's Britain's favourite game, watched by 30 million devoted fans every year.
I do enjoy a game day. I get excited as much as the fans sometimes.
But when passions run this high, things can get out of control. So to keep everyone safe, all the professional clubs now work with a specialist football cop.
So the guys in the yellow and blue just do football. That is their full-time job.
Every club has got my equivalent. They've all got a dedicated football officer.
Across the leagues.
Fickle that, you loved me 2 minutes ago.
And for England games abroad.
I would just come away from it. Yeah.
The football cops are there to stop trouble before it starts.
Let's have him out, let's have him out.
Turn around that way, turn around, keep walking.
Every Saturday when I'm a country, if there was no football policing, 100% it would be carnage.
Hey, Wizard, we're going to Wembley. You're not.
Over the last 10 years, Scunthorpe United has been relegated repeatedly. The club is known as the Iron, after the industry that defined the town. It's a business in decline.
There were 24,000 people employed at the steelworks. That went down to 4,000 or 5,000. I guess with the decline over the steelworks over the years, the football club is the last community hub that those workers can still go to and the families.
Come on, Paul, head together.
I'm Paul Hurrell. I'm the dedicated football officer for Scunthorpe United, and it's now coming up 20 years.
Oh. Hang on.
Oh, you left his grass in there.
Sure.
Don't. Please.
No, it's fine.
Oh, that's all right. It's like coming out with me mother.
I am kind of that village Bobby. I am that community Bobby for Scunthorpe United.
Come on, give us a cuddle.
It's not just about the 90 minutes of kicking a bag of wind round a bit of grass.
He's all right, him. He's not like what you think. He's helped everyone out.
There's far more to this that I get involved in that sometimes I probably shouldn't get involved in, but I do.
I'm not getting nicked for the next 10 years, am I?
Lately, it's not the adult fans who've been the problem for Paul and his team.
At the minute, the issues that I've got primarily at Scunthorpe are with those that are aged between 13 to 19 years old. With this younger group, I've seen a significant increase in the use of pyrotechnics, smoke bombs and flares at Scunthorpe games, home and away. At the Scunthorpe versus Bromley fixture, just prior to kick-off, there was a serious incident. Round towards the very back, you'll see the bright flare come first. There. A young male throws a flare and it hits a young 11-year-old on the back of the head. 5 seconds earlier, it was actually looking back towards where that's come from. That could have hit that young 11-year-old square on in the face, causing all sorts of life-changing injuries.
Smoke bombs and flares are popular among so-called ultra fans in Europe, but they're banned at games in the UK.
Flares can kill you. There was a guy lost his hand because he'd held up what he thought was a smoke bomb, small bit of black powder in it, blows his hand, he's got one small finger left. Players losing parts of their lower limbs because they've kicked a flare. It can be that serious.
Hello?
Hi, is that Rihanna?
It is.
Rihanna, it's PC Hurrell, Humberside Police. I believe that your son was involved in an incident at the ground on Saturday where a flare stroke smoke bomb was thrown and it's actually hit your son, is that right?
It is, yeah.
First, how is he?
I think it's more traumatising than anything else.
Yeah.
But he was complaining of dizziness and headache for the 2 days afterwards.
Right.
He got sent home from school on Monday because of it.
Oh, heck.
Has he talked about it every day?
Yeah, and do you know, he plays football for Hull Academy, and he broke down. He didn't even want to go to his football on Monday either.
Okay.
I first went to Scunthorpe when I was about 8 or 9 years old. My dad was a huge football fan. The game I specifically remember when I went with Dad. A few minutes before the end of the game, Dad literally grabbed my hand and led me away, back down Doncaster Road, back down towards the car park. And back then it was like, well, the game's not finished, Dad. Why are we leaving? Didn't understand it. But now I understand why. Having seen some of the things that happen at the end of the game, I'm seeing parents with young children doing exactly the same as what my dad did then. So I've viewed the CCTV. It does look like it's a juvenile. And just to hear Mum's voice, just the way that her concerns, that gets to me. And because it gets to me, it makes me even more determined to find out who's responsible.
100 miles away at Crewe Alexander, the DFO, Shane Smith, is also having problems with a new group of around 70 very young fans who taunt the opposition and try to start fights at every game.
It's the first season that we've had young girls and boys causing us policing issues. Social media is firing this. Those videos are getting put on social media and other groups want to be in part of that. And you want young lads to come to football, enjoy it and go home. And you're speaking to them when they don't have an ounce of idea and they don't really care. I don't know where it's come from, but this season, this group have developed into a risk group.
This week, Walsall FC are playing Crewe Alexander at home, and Walsall's DFO is expecting trouble.
My name's Chris McComsky, also known as Macca. I am the youngest DFO in West Midlands Police, so I suppose I am the baby.
Since dedicated football officers were first deployed, large-scale football violence has become rare. But with the rise of these new young groups, the football cops are worried trouble is coming back.
There's a lot of history around football violence in terms of what it was like in the 70s, in the 80s, not the English disease. I think nowadays the younger groups are trying to copy that.
Can I ask you to move onto the pavement, please? Boys, try and squeeze up a little bit.
Macca's job is to stop his more volatile but older Walsall supporters, known as risk fans, getting provoked by the young Crewe Alexandra group who are looking for trouble.
The Walsall Risk Group, they're not kids. They're my age, 30-year-old, 40-year-old lads. They all work, they're all family people. I don't want them to have their life ruined because it's ultimately a conviction that you're going to have on your record just because a group of idiots have just started on you. So getting in the pub's early doors gives the supporters that understanding that you're there, seeing who's coming in, seeing who's going out. We've had some issues with Crewe this season where they've got like a group of kids, like 13 to 14, 15, that happily come in here, throw a pint glass or a bottle, etc. What we don't want is all the Walsall fans retaliating, coming out en masse, etc., and having a big scrap.
Okay.
Because they're younger than me, they're half my age.
Yeah,
so
they're certainly younger than me then.
Only just.
Yeah.
From your point of view, if someone comes in here, for instance, and chucks that pint over you, you're going to do some serious damage to him.
And then I'm in the lumber then.
And it's on you, even though they've caused it. Yeah. That's just the stuff that we don't want.
I don't know what's the matter with the kids, just trouble.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
all good.
Lovely. See you
later.
later.
Man. See you in a bit.
Ta-ra.
Every Saturday up and down the country, if there was no DFOs, if there was no football policing, no planning around the football matches, it would be carnage. 100% it would be carnage.
As the game gets underway, the young Crewe fans seem more focused on winding up the Walsall fans than on the game. Shane and Macca are called to the control room because the Crewe youth group are starting to move down to the front of the stands to goad the opposition even more.
West stand, they've got all the shoes off.
They've got all the shoes off? They'll wave them in the air in a minute.
Can you make sure all the stewards are on the feet?
Take him over. Sorry.
Alpha 4, the cameras are on. Thanks for that.
I was quite nervous, to be fair. The Walsall Risk Group, they won't specifically go looking for violence or disorder. But if you go and put it on their toes, then they won't back down. Crewe's Risk Group, predominantly like kids. You don't want fully grown adults fighting kids because it's not going to end. It's not going to end well.
Good evening to you from Portman Road. Ipswich are in fine form. They have scored 29 goals in their last 10 matches and conceded just one.
Ipswich Town is riding high near the top of League One, and fans are hoping for promotion to the Championship. But the club's success has also brought Ipswich DFO Rowley new problems with the younger fans.
We need to clear this and get them cleared simultaneously.
We have had trouble with youth, certainly into the most recent season. We've had issues with a couple of emerging youth groups, if you like, that we hadn't previously encountered. So we've become much more kind of engaged and focused on that group.
With the club's revival, attendance has boomed, and the Cops are expecting over 27,000 for today's match. But packed stands mean more chance of trouble.
The question is, can you stop us going on the pitch? Because we are going on.
You ruin it for everyone else.
Who cares?
We have found this season that actually the risk group has changed a little bit, in that there's a lot more younger people now that are maybe come as a result of COVID, watching football documentaries and seeing that football culture, that haven't come to football before.
But you see me earlier, I'm a nice person.
I'm not saying you're not a nice person at all.
I'm not
but they obviously think you've had too much drink, which I can see, and they're not going to let you in.
Of course, I agree with you.
If Ipswich finish in the top two, the club is guaranteed a return to the Championship. But if they slip to third, they will be heading to the playoffs, so the fans are anxious. As the team bus heads to the stadium, the die-hard supporters want to give the players a rousing welcome, and Rowley just wants to make sure nobody gets hurt.
Pyrotechnics are very trendy. The younger supporters seem to really enjoy it, so it goes with that community.
Does it matter if people look at flares here? No one's worried. What we just need you to do is move back so you're safe. That's what we're going to need, so, yeah?
It might not be deliberate, but the fact is that in a crowded situation, the thrown pyro could land up hurting a child or somebody elderly or vulnerable.
Let's not burn anyone either. That's all I don't want anyone to get burned. Don't want anyone to choke. That's all that worries me, all right? As long as we're safe, that's all I'm worried about. Let's bring the roach now. We're gonna have to push all them back. Back we go, folks. Back we go.
Pyrotechnics burn at incredibly high temperatures, and I've seen people pick up pyros that have then been burnt as a result of it.
Stick it down, just chuck it down, mate. Chuck it down. Watch your backs! Watch your backs! It was good. Everybody enjoyed themselves. Nobody got hurt. Now let's hope these people get the result they came for. Otherwise, that'll all have seemed a bit previous, won't it, to be honest? So.
In Scunthorpe, Paul's had a breakthrough. A 12-year-old has been identified as the person who threw the flare. He's visiting Ali, the boy who was hit in the back of the head, to update him and his mum.
Hey, how are you doing?
Ali is a huge Scunthorpe fan and goes to every match.
Hey, young man, how are you?
But he's not been back to the stadium since he was hit by the flare.
We've put the picture of the person that's done it, we put it on the internal police system,
and local PCSOs have taken that image to a school.
Right.
And a name's come forward. If it is the said person, that said person will obviously be brought in for an interview.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at, what we've done.
Mhm.
I wanted to come see how little man was. So when are you coming back to Scunny?
He didn't go on Saturday, it was just me and Ruben.
Oh.
Really,
Do you think you might get back to Scunthorpe this season? What about the Oldham game on Easter Monday?
Oh, bank holiday.
Yeah. And that'll be a big game as well. That's a really big game. Ali and his family are what I would describe as football through and through.
This is a top goal scorer one, tournament one, manager's player and player's player.
So what are you up for this year then?
Top goal scorer.
The gobbiest player, I would say.
You've got to be, haven't you?
If you asked his manager.
Families shouldn't be scared to come to football. It should be an enjoyable experience, not one that you fear. Whereas I've got an 11-year-old that is now frightened to go back in with his family and stand in that same place. I'll be in touch.
No problem.
I'll keep you posted with what
No
we do.
worries.
Why are we allowing people's enjoyment to be spoilt because of that small minority? Right, I'll see you all later.
Bye-bye.
In Crewe, Macca and Shane have so far managed to keep the young fans contained. The challenge for the police now is to keep the fans apart as they leave the stadium. Then the police drone operator spots a group of young Crewe Risk fans heading towards the train station, where most of the Walsall fans will be gathering.
This moment now, this is just pure adrenaline for me. This is where my heart rate goes up, and I just start going into that type of mode where you just ultimately, you don't want to see a massive fight, so you do as much as you can to prevent it.
We're ready to go now.
And it's the exact same group that we redirected on the way in.
Oh, there's the Walsall Risk here, Walsall Risk here. Seriously? Can you that way now? That way now, you ain't going that way. You ain't going that way. Turn around that way. Turn around, keep walking. Turn around. And you that way, turn around that way.
As the Walsall fans head to the station on one side of the road, the Crewe Youth Risk Group have gathered in a car park on the other side to shout abuse at the visitors.
Move! Yeah! Move! Back off! Back off! Listen, Chief! Back off!
And some of the Walsall fans are rising to the bait.
Boys, let me talk! Let me talk! Fuck you, you little fuck! When I was gonna you fucking shit houses! Move! Fuck off!
They're chucking glass bottles.
Come up here! Good, tell a little cunt there, bring them up here. I'll fucking show him, old school. You know.
I know.
It's probably the most difficult part of policing, especially nowadays, because kids, they think they're untouchable.
We're going to come and visit us next season, we'll just give them a good fucking hand.
The kids don't understand what position they're putting themselves in, what position they're putting the other group in. They just think it's a bit of fun throwing bottles at each other and stuff.
Move back, just move back.
Let's go and have a look at yours and let's make sure they're gone. This element we've got, they're just feral, completely out of control. You get a grip off them and they go, fuck off, I'm a juvenile, fuck off. And you're like, and they've got no previous convictions outside, nothing in football, not known.
We had a lot more respect.
I went to our parents' house and they went, I'm sorry, Constable, but we've lost control of him. And you're like, there you go.
In Scunthorpe, Paul's meeting the mum of the 12-year-old boy suspected of throwing the flare.
I don't know what Dean's told you, but I'll go over it real quickly. He's been at a football match. He's thrown a smoke bomb and it's hit an 11-year-old on the back of the head. I do need to speak to him. Ultimately, I'm looking at possessing a smoke bomb, throwing it, and then an assault because it's hit. So they're going to be the three things that we'll talk about. Would it be you that's going to come in with him? These years form what they're going to be like as adults. Don't want to take that away from them. On the flip side of that, actually make them realise at a young age that for every action, there's a reaction.
Coming in.
If I went down the line of just arresting these kids, I would then affect for decades what they can and what they can't do. That's not right. That's not the right path to take. I want to educate them.
So, this is the picture that PCSO has identified you from, okay? Which is that one. Can you see yourself in that picture? No. No? Mum?
Not you, sir.
No?
Man, wait, no lies.
Yeah. That's definitely you.
Yeah.
Okay. And Mum, you're quite happy that that's...
The message that I give is, if you come to football, you behave this way. If you get into trouble, we're going to talk to you about it. If you get into trouble and cross the line, then potentially you might look at a banning order. But actually, before we get to point Z, we've got to go through A to Y to get there. If you go to Glanford Park next season and maybe not stand quite in the middle of that group, but somewhere else, for me, that's great. And it means that you've listened and you've taken this into consideration. Because next time, it might not be me and Dean and Mum just sat in here. You might be thrown into a cell at Grimsby. I'm not in the realms of criminalising kids, adults. If I can deal with it in a firm but fair way, then that's the way forward with this.
In Ipswich, the warm-up for tonight's crunch match against Port Vale features some very special flag wavers.
There's my dad up there.
The twin daughters of Ipswich DFO, Rowley.
There's the whole crowd watching us do this.
The girls are huge Ipswich fans and keen players.
I hope to see him playing out there one day. I'd love him to come and play for the club. It'd be great. Of course, that's when the ladies get to play here at some point as well in the future, which we hope will happen. I'm sure it will.
It's almost time for kick-off under the lights here at Portman Road.
If they win tonight, the club is guaranteed promotion. But lose or draw, and they are in danger of heading to the playoffs.
Be very much result-driven, won't it?
With so much at stake, the cops know that by full-time, the home crowd will have shredded nerves.
If you can keep your eye on that little corner.
When I see the children at the game, I may have a little look at them on the CCTV. There have been games where I've asked Sarah to walk on a certain route out of the stadium when she leaves. It just takes them away from where the likely tension is going to come. And I wouldn't want them to be exposed to it. It's a horribly uncomfortable experience, so I wouldn't want my children to have to see that and have maybe even concerns that I'm involved in it and that I might get hurt.
Probably sense a little bit, there's a bit of apprehension in the crowd tonight because they're looking for a goal.
There's a slip as well from one of the defenders in towards the Dapo.
And everyone's totally focused on the game.
For some people, it's like their absolute religion, you know, coming to football. And when it's not going away, they get so uptight and angry about it.
But then in stoppage time, Ipswich concede their first goal at home in 2 months. And the mood of the crowd dramatically shifts.
Just before half-time. But that's when we really have to switch on, because it's not going to plan. And we've not got a lot of resource on for tonight.
But as the league table stands at half-time, Ipswich are back in third. If they lose this game, this is going to turn really ugly quickly.
OK, listening. So today we've got Scunthorpe United versus Oldham Athletic in a National League fixture with a 3 o'clock kick-off. We're anticipating 30 to 40 risk. That'll probably be bolstered by some of those antisocial youths that come off the local housing estate and bolsters our known risk group. This fixture today has now got real importance. This is the one that could relegate Scunthorpe out of the Football League and in effect to non-league football. I'm sure we'll see a pitch invasion. That's for Mr. Hopper to deal with inside the ground, but it then might spill out to yourselves outside.
If Scunthorpe lose this match, they'll be going down to the semi-professional Northern League. With so much on the line, Paul knows things could get tricky.
If Scunthorpe get relegated, We might see smoke bombs, we might see missiles, we might see players attacked, and it not just be against the club, but it then turn against fellow fans and the police.
After almost 20 years of Scunthorpe DFO, relegation would also have a very personal impact on Paul.
What happens if they go down today, the mighty Iron?
I could be out of a job, in theory. It'll all depend on what senior managers say, what they look at the role, but we're totally in the unknown. So the league that Scunthorpe may drop into don't routinely have a dedicated football officer. So for me, I may find myself out of a job.
Oh, see, another one with plywood windows. It's like being back home.
Paul's got Oldham Athletic DFO Lee with him. They're touring local pubs looking for risk fans, and it's not the older fans they're worried about.
Walking into a pub and you are met with 2 potential risk groups that are one from Scunthorpe and one from Oldham. That's that split second of, oh, what am I going to do here?
Come on, the Blues!
Up the Iron!
Come on, the Blues! Come on, 6! Come on, the boys!
Potential risk at any point, and they're stood there drinking together, having the crack together. It's brilliant.
Be ashamed to send them down, but at the end of the day, we need the 3 points. Keep safe.
Merry Christmas.
Keep in touch.
I would have said 15 years ago, there's no way he would have been able to do that. This would have just gone up like a tinderbox. But it's great. The older lads, they've grown up. They've been on bans, they've been subject to football legislation, but it's that younger group now that week in, week out, there is some form of issue. This group literally just appeared as a group of school kids. It was just that post-COVID explosion. You've got 12 of the Scunthorpe risk just leaving.
Most fans just want to enjoy the game.
Ah, Mr. Beverley.
And Paul needs their help where possible.
Where's Sidekick? She's on her way. Oh, is she? She ain't come with you? Are you going in?
Yeah, I'm going to go in, grab a pint and coming out.
Right, all right. Just give me a ring.
Yeah, if I'm not stopping here all day.
No, I know you're not, mate. Don't worry about that. It's just all our youth risk are sat in this corner here.
About happens, kicks off.
Let me know.
It's not that often we get trouble in here, is it?
No,
but today there could be.
Today's the day, isn't it?
I know, that's the problem. At Scunthorpe, we've got a little group of maybe 40 or 50 of them, and they're all anywhere from the age of 14 to 20. And there's also a couple of older elements that are egging them on, which isn't helping. And you don't know when it's going to kick off, and these kids can turn on anybody at any time, and they have been doing.
Right, ticket collections that way, boys.
Up in the Championship, Coventry are at home to Stoke City, and the respective DFOs, Ben and Cardio, are outside the stadium looking for troublemakers.
What's he going to do with this crate of ale?
You've got your older risk that have been there, seen it and done it, and then you've got your young risk, would perhaps be more active in going out looking for it.
This group behind me now, we need to just keep an eye on them.
Ben has spotted a group of away fans heading round to the home turnstiles.
You all right, lads? You know where you're going?
Ben, to Stu, they're coming straight past you, this group. We don't want them walking round.
Where are we going, lads? Ticket collections that way.
That's right, to move into the turnstile!
Ticket collections that way. Whoa, I'll give you a walk. Who are you calling a cunt?
Mate, up fucking
Who are you calling a cunt?
Oh, you're getting big now, are you?
No, I don't need to get big, mate. Move away. Move away. Away turnstiles are there and there. You do not need to go past there, do you? The chap in the pink coat there will give you your tickets. Steward in the pink coat. There you go, through there. I don't know what you're looking at. Right.
Guy in the purple, maroon red, I was just trying to work out who he was.
This lad here?
Yeah.
Matt?
I know his name and everything.
Come here. Mate, you're the joker.
If you go for the biggest one or the loudest one, that sets the tone. The others think, you know, if they're willing to speak and engage with him, the mild meat one at the back, they're certainly going to engage with him if needs be, aren't they? So you go to the mouthpiece, as we call it, then it sets that tone that you're willing to speak to the ringleader, the Pied Piper.
Right then.
You're right about, mate.
I'm not. I'm going in block.
No, but you was a minute ago, wasn't you?
Give it the big one. Try and walk round to the home end.
Yeah. So?
What do you mean, yes, so? Known to the police, are you?
Yeah.
What for?
This.
So what?
Violence.
What's this?
Yeah.
Are you not learning your lesson? So what?
Do you think it's ever going to stop? Let's be honest. Do you think it's...
Well, not with idiots like you, behaving like you're behaving. Leading a group of young children through a police line to try and get round to the home end. What's that hoping to achieve there? I'm told you. What's that? What are you hoping to achieve there?
Nothing. If you're doing engagement, you ain't getting in. So I suggest you start talking, pal.
So what was that to achieve?
Nothing. I was just literally walking to me.
So we've said away turnstiles are there, and you've tried to walk through round to the home end.
Yeah, you've
Give
always
it
got
some.
to try it, haven't you?
Why have you got to try it?
Fun.
Nobody's laughing.
Well, I am. My boys are.
My boys are.
Yeah.
It's like the Pied Piper, isn't it?
These.
What's it achieved?
Me getting grabbed.
And that's a good day.
Grabbed here.
When were you last in trouble?
I haven't been for a few weeks, so...
A few weeks?
I've been out of trouble for at least a couple of weeks.
Doing well, yeah?
I remember last time.
He's a clown, though. Grade A.
Oh. Yeah.
Grade A. If I could think of any reason for him not to go in. He's leading his boys.
Yeah. They're intent to go straight to the home, mate. That's why I was going
No,
like...
that's fine, that's fine. Try and behave yourself, won't you? He's got an absolute swagger, hasn't he?
He's got the ticket in his back pocket that he didn't have.
You talk about older risk. The way we describe it is older risk generally know the rules. They know what we do, we know what they do, but they kind of play by the rules, like they won't attack shirts, they won't push through police, they won't do daft things like that. You'd never get an older risk group trying to walk around to the home end. They're more predetermined, pre-arranged stuff. The younger ones, we say, don't perhaps know the rules, or the etiquette is the word, so they will attack shirt wearers or scarf wearers after the game. And like that, trying to walk around to the home end, what is that going to achieve? And that's why the youth are a little bit more unpredictable, because you don't know perhaps how they're going to behave.
Over in Scunthorpe, a vocal group of young Oldham Risk fans has just arrived at the station.
So that's all you've got for 16.
Well, that changes the dynamic now to first.
Of course it does.
So that knows that a lot.
The football cops must keep this group away from the Scunthorpe Risk fans.
You could have trouble with these if they come across their risk.
Yeah.
But the Scunthorpe supporters have already heard the Oldham group are in town and are trying to hunt them down.
They are. They're in that car there looking.
Are they?
Yeah. See, local knowledge. 6-5. For the information of the escort, there's a white 18-plate Corsa that contains 4 of the Scunthorpe Risk that are now scouting round Church Lane, Exeter Road area. It's an 18-plated Corsa.
The Oldham group have seen the Scunthorpe group, they're split off. Boys, turn around. Boys, turn around.
This is a game of cat and mouse. They're going to be gutted that we found them. So, at this point in the day, the cat wins.
Up the end, that fella's down there, turn right.
Once the fans get to the stadium, it starts to get easier for the police to keep home and away apart.
So this is the flashpoint where we stood now, because you've got Scunthorpe Risk waiting behind us and you've got Oldham walking past. Keep going, mate.
Oh, fuck off, I don't give a shit.
So that's the 2 groups that tried to have a fight earlier on. Just appears they're waiting for after the final whistle now.
A conversation overheard by one of the spotters confirms this.
Bit of information. We came out the Hungry Horse. Unbeknownst to Charlie, who was talking to his mate, says, just as we walk out, it's all right, we'll get them afterwards.
As the team complete phase 1 and take their positions for the match, it's clear the rival groups are still planning a fight when the game is over. "11-year-old Ali is back at Scunthorpe, this time on the field as the club's child mascot.
It's nice to see the smile back on Ali's face. Now he's been back and whatnot, I think hopefully he'll want to come back again.
Don't mind being back? Is it all right?
Yeah.
Are you going to come back again, do you think, before end of season? Yeah? Feel better now?
Yeah.
Is it better sitting in this side?
But, no, I'll probably go back there one day, but probably not in the middle.
Yeah? Probably to one side?
Yeah.
Oh, good effort.
But when the game gets underway, the first goal goes to Oldham, crushing Scunthorpe's hopes of avoiding relegation.
Well, Oldham will be happy now. I don't know about Scunny. That could be it.
We are looking at relegation, and it's something that
That's a bit harsh, isn't it?
I've got to come to terms with as well. Hey, Apple, you all right?
Thank you.
This is now out of my control. I'm not on there kicking a ball. I'm not a manager. I just deal with what I've got for next season. What and where and how my role looks like, I won't know, and I don't know.
In Ipswich, the second half is underway. If it stays 1-0, the club will miss out on automatic promotion and go into the playoffs.
At half-time, if the result is not going your way, you're trying to assess the tension in the crowd, the reaction of the supporters.
A couple of keep antagonising the fans above, the away fans.
There you go. So obviously the put fail have sort of said a few bits, and then you get this sort of behaviour. And it's quite good. One of the most experienced spotters is having a word, trying to nip it in the bud quite early, advising them about their behaviour.
What's he doing? To that steward. Let's have him out, let's have him out. That's the one, guys, that's the one. He's been doing the sign to the steward for 20 minutes, we'll have him out.
Here's Burns, right-hand side, chalk on his boots, looking to deliver it towards Broadhead! It's Nathan Broadhead! That's the leveller!
An Ipswich goal makes it 1-1, changing the mood completely. They still need a win to guarantee promotion, but the home fans are suddenly a lot more positive. But a Port Vale supporter is not best pleased and has started to get aggressive with the stewards.
He was upset that Ipswich had scored, and he remonstrated a little bit too vociferously for the stewards' liking. So we've gone from nothing to quite a lot in a very short space of time.
Rowley sends spotters, Mark and Jess, to calm things down.
Easy now, boy. Calm down. As I'm watching it unfold, the primary concern is for their safety, to make sure that they're okay in what they're doing. Working in football stadiums is hazardous. There are some steep stairways in stands in certain stadiums, and it can be tricky amongst crowds, particularly if the crowd's lively.
Do you think I could have a van to Portman Road, please? We have a fan struggling being ejected with officers at the moment, so the back of V1, V2 in Portman Road, please.
Calm down. It's right, calm. It's right. You have committed a criminal offence by being drunk inside the football stadium. So if we want to, listen, if we want to, we can arrest you, but no one wants to do that.
Rowley's anxious that with his team tied up dealing with a drunk fan, he's now short-handed inside the stadium as full-time approaches.
I think the nerves then come from you're focused on one thing, and there can be so many other things going on, and that happens an awful lot at games. So it's very, very difficult when you've got limited resource to make sure that you're dealing with the most important thing at the time.
This game is going to finish in 5 minutes, and we've got a lot of things to do, and I can't be standing here arguing with you for the next 15 minutes.
No, it will be 3-0 now.
All I'm asking for your details. I don't think that's harsh.
It's Clark at the back post. Appeals for handball. Well, he was sliding. Second appeals for handball. That has to be a penalty. It is!
Back inside, Ipswich gets a penalty.
It's brought in. It's 2-1!
Phase 2 will obviously have a major influence on what Phase 3 looks like. A home win sees a jubilant crowd. Flip it round the other way and the away team wins, you potentially got 20,000 plus unhappy people leaving the stadium, and I've had lots of that over the years.
The final whistle blows! Ipswich have done it! They've come back from a goal behind to beat Port Vale at Portman Road under the lights.
That line between acceptable and unacceptable behaviour is different at almost every game and has its own unique line in every circumstance. You have to be prepared to judge each of those situations on their merit.
The win guarantees Ipswich's promotion to the Championship. Whereas in Scunthorpe, with 15 minutes to go, Paul's seen a heading for relegation. And if that happens, there'll be some angry home fans looking to take out their frustration.
It's now going to be end of the game, isn't it? 16:36, a penalty to Oldham. This is going to be...
This is where you've got to have a pitch encroach with anything.
Let's make sure everybody pitch side, please. Pitch side.
Sierra Charlie, more staff pitch side, more staff pitch side, please.
All on the pitch.
When that penalty was scored, the heart's gone. The shoulders drop. It's a sinking feeling. It wasn't just a relegation, it was actually, where do I go next? What do I do next? Who knows? Paul's journey in football could be at an end. I don't know. In the next breath, it's switch back on again, Paul. You've now got a potential of disorder.
As disappointed Scunthorpe fans head home, a group of Oldham youth risk is spotted on CCTV going towards a local estate.
Sierra 65, we're going to come through the car park and into the estate that way.
9 o'clock this morning.
There is no reason at all Oldham fans should be walking through this estate, so something's got to have been planned.
Boss, have you got any other units? There's about 30 of just running through the estate. And the Scunthorpe young lads have gone through the retail park and appear to be coming round.
Paul has spotted a group from Scunthorpe heading the same way, and he and Lee are the only two officers on the scene.
Lads! Ben! Move! Now!
So there's me and Lee, and we've got 20 Oldham lads one side of the road, Scunny lads coming through into the road the other side, and we've got to stop a fight happening.
Keep walking, boys.
Ben, you're going to get leathered by this, like, if you're not careful.
What by that lot?
You're right.
When you're faced with a situation like that, you know I've got a split second to decide what to do.
You're looping round that way. Paul, is there any potential ambush points down here?
Yeah, at the end of this road.
Boys, keep going. Keep walking. Keep moving, please. Come on, boys.
So what have we got as far as Scunny risk are concerned?
There's loads around here hiding in bushes.
Yeah.
The cops need to get the Oldham group to the station 2 miles away and keep them away from the Scunthorpe fans en route.
EG1, you've got about 5 or 6 Scunny youth risks that are outside the SO garage now. There's a bumble and all that over there, look.
We're going to turn these round. Boys, you're not going that way. No, you're not. We should have left earlier, shouldn't you?
And this is the problem. All the way up here, you've got woods and gardens that are potential ambush points will keep appearing out of this right-hand side. The Scunny lot have tried to get to them, and I'm sure they're going to carry on trying right up into town. But they are under police escort at the minute.
After a half-hour operation involving around 40 cops, the Oldham fans finally reached the station.
Cheers, dude. Ta-da, mate.
Right, have a good one.
Getting back to the train station, see him over that bridge, onto the platform, and that's like, oh, we've done it.
A nice friendly wave really for the Grimsby fans.
Once the train's left, it's the point of thinking, that's it. We're confirmed as relegated. Now what am I going to do? It's then just a huge sinking feeling of reality.
Next time on Football Cops, as the fans fly out to follow England abroad.
Listen to me, if the German police ask for your ID, there's a law you have to give it to them.
The Football Cops are there to protect the supporters overseas.
He needs medical attention.
He's literally to my right-hand side, and I can see blood.
And try to catch a drug dealer with the local police.
We've got an England fan who is selling drugs.